Hello, welcome to the Standbys versus Team Divergence stream. We're going to get started here in about 5 minutes. The Standbys roster for this game, we have 0-2 Wes Slanderson, 1-1 She Be Dangerous, 1-4 Green Machine, 4-0-4 Smack Overflow, 4-1-6 Bash Tag, 6-9-6 Blasphemous, 8 Jet Set, 9-8-5 Rougarou, 0-2-8 Slam Track, 1-1-1 Royal Tenenbaum, 3-3-3 Miss Enigma, 4-1-2 Keeper of the Skate, 4-7 Nikita Chiquita, 7-3-7 Savage Sunflower, 8-4-7 L on Wheels. And for Team Divergence, we have 1-1-4 Cat Claws, 1-2-7 Violent Viking, 1-7-3 Dreadlightful Stardust. Sorry, that was kind of hard to read. 2-0 Lucky Eddie, 4-3-0 Rosie the Riveter, 7-1-1 Brawley Shore, 9-1-0 Ivana Tormencha, 1-1-2 Mina Cat Scratch, 1-1-9 Miss Tori Meat, 1-6 Meowth, 1977 Maya Prerogative, 3-2 Locked and Loaded, 7 Freddie Mercury Poisoning, 7-3-7 Lady J, 9-8 Badelin.
Hello everybody on Twitch, this is Dice Goblin. Liz, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you, Goblin?
Doing great. I'm excited for this game. I've never seen Divergence Roller Derby play.
I've seen them play a couple times in other, other venues. I haven't seen them play here. I think this is their first time playing here, perhaps,
Nice.
in the
Okay,
Denver
okay.
Roller Dome. They're a team with a roster that changes, so I'm not entirely sure if who's playing today will be the same as who's been playing the other times I've seen them. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm really excited. There's a few faces I've seen in other teams since I believe Divergence is one of those borderless teams. Like the current jammer out there, it plays for Boulder County Roller Derby.
Yes, that's Lady J 737. I don't know if we had her on the full roster display that I did a couple minutes ago, but if I missed her, that is Lady J 737, and she does usually skate for Boulder County.
Interesting. Well, maybe she's gone by a different name tonight.
I think it's still Lady J. It's Lady J on the paperwork I have here.
I see. Weird. Well, I'm glad we can announce her now. Looks like
on the line we have Miss Enigma for standbys, and as we just said, Lady J for Team Divergence. For the blockers, for standbys, we got Jet Set, Bash Tag, Slam Track, and Royal Tenenbaum. For the Divergence blockers, we have 199, 114, 16. Lady J is at the top of the pack, fighting with standbys while she's through for lead jammer. Missy is still in the back, trying to work with her standbys offense, but getting hit to the outside. Lady J is back on her scoring pass, getting through. She has at least 2 already. Missy is through, and she is now on her scoring pass. And Lady J has called, but it looks like Missy has snuck in 2 points, with Lady J grabbing all 4. Looks like we have some people in the chat from New Jersey. Shout out to New Jersey. And now we have L on Wheels jamming for the standbys.
Out with lead jam too.
And 002 for Team Divergence, I believe, has just gotten out on her scoring pad, or got out on her initial, now she's scoring. L on Wheels has gotten through for 4 points and is going to call it off before the Divergence jammer gets to score.
It's always a smart defensive move.
And that was Tara Beaton on the line in the last jam. Now we have 404 Smack Overflow for the standbys.
Looks like Smack's going for the inside.
Both jammers fighting pretty hard in the pack right now. Smack facing off at the top and is through for lead. Divergence jammer is fighting hard to get by the standby's wall. Smack is now scoring and is through for 4 points. Divergence is trying to go for a star pass, but looks to be getting shut down.
Oh, looks like
But they have completed it, but the pivot has been hit out at the top, but is now through. Standby's jammer Smack Overflow is now in the box on a cut track, so it's going to be a power jam for Team Divergence.
A full 2-minute jam at that.
Yeah, full 2-minute jam as well. Not really what you want on this warm day in Colorado. It was about 90 degrees outside today and probably not too much cooler inside the building.
Definitely not. Hopefully the fan rumbling isn't too bad for everybody listening.
Yeah, we're pretty close to a fan here, so if you hear it on the mic, apologies for that. Divergence is trying to rack up as many points as they can, but now Smack Overflow is back on the track and is through for 4 more points. Good hit by the Divergence jammer on 737 Savage Sunflower. Smack with a mini apex jump and is going to try to grab all 4, which he has done. Divergence jammer is still scoring. And the jam is now ended. That's going to be 12 points on the jam for standbys and 10 for Divergence. We have Blasphemous or the standbys on the line now. sorry I can't read the Divergence numbers when they're on the line from back here. I actually skate with the standbys, so I do know all their names just from looking at them. Divergence Jammer now fighting at the top against Wes Slanderson and Nikita Chiquita. Got a strong 2-wall going there with support from She Be Dangerous, and Blast is now approaching the top, but is having difficulty against the Divergence blockers. Divergence Jammer is powering through and is back at the top against Kotz, keeper of the skate. And Wes Slanderson and Nikita Chiquita trying to shut that down in a 3. Run back by She Be Dangerous. Blast is still fighting those Divergence blockers. No one is out for lead yet.
1 penalty for the Divergence blockers.
I believe that was a track cut on that blocker. Blast is now trying to stretch out the pack at the top, probably hoping for a no pack or an out of play quite soon, unless the Divergence wall drops to bridge. And Blast is now through for lead jammer.
40 seconds left on this jam.
Yeah, that was a long initial. And Blast trying to get through for scoring. Divergence Jammer still fighting in the back against that standby's 3 wall. Wes Slanderson is bridging. And another blocker is going to the box for Divergence. That's going to be 1-6 Meowth. And Blast is trying to get their hips around, but is calling it off. We'll see how many points Blast got on that jam. All 4.
Whew, that was a rough jam for everybody.
Yes, that was hard fought 4 points for sure. Now we have Rue Guru on the line for standbys. Facing off against, I'm not sure the name, but a very tough Divergence Jammer fighting hard in that wall. Rue Guru is through for lead, but quick on their trail is that Divergence Jammer. Rue is going to try to grab some points before the Divergence Jammer can get back. A great spin move by Rue. The Divergence Jammer is approaching, may have snagged a point, we'll have to see. No points for the Divergence Jammer, 4 on the jam for Rue Guru. Oh, we have more names at the top now, so I'll try to be better about that, saying both jammers' names. We have Lady J on the line now for Divergence and Miss Enigma for standbys. Oh, shout out to Locks from Western Massachusetts. Where in Western Mass are you from? I myself is from Massachusetts, but I'm from the South Shore. Missy is fighting hard at the top. Lady J is pretty controlled in the back right now. Missy doing her classic line work. She is now lead.
Lady J still fighting in the back.
Yeah, taking a pretty tough route through the pack. The standby's wall is not wanting to let her get out. That is for sure. Missy's fighting hard for those points, trying to get through this Divergence wall, and she is through, but Lady J is out and can score, but Missy has called off the jam with 4 points for standbys and 0 for Divergence. On the line for Divergence, we have Badelin, and for the standbys, we have L on Wheels.
Yeah, I think Badelin skates for Boulder County as well.
You might be right about that, Goblin. I am not sure. We have Elle is fighting at the top against the Divergence 3 wall and is through for lead jammer. Badelin fighting hard in the back, but hit out by Slam Track as they approach the front. Ooh, unfortunately, Elle is in the box, so that's going to be a power jam for Divergence, but it's also going to be a full 2-minute jam since it was called after Elle was declared lead. Ah, they revoked that lead, so now Badelin is lead. So perhaps it won't be a full 2 minutes. Badelin is through for 4. Actually, I think it's Badalin. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think it is.
Badalin. Sorry about that.
Derby names are creative and sometimes challenging. Oh, but Badalin got a penalty.
Elle is back on the track, and Badalin has been sent to the box.
It is for sure a 2-minute jam now.
It is absolutely a 2-minute jam now. Only 33 seconds left, though. I believe Elle is still on scoring, so will not get points for this pass. Oh, Elle is on scoring, so Elle has gotten 4 points. Elle's calling for her offense and is in through for 4 points again. But Badalin is back on the track and is eligible to score. Badalin is going to pick up some points, but so is Elle.
Great
Elle has
offensive
picked up
wall
4,
there.
and that's going to be 2 for Divergence. Yes, excellent offense there. And now we have Smack Overflow on the line for standbys. And I believe that's Kara Beaton for Divergence. Smack looking to the inside line and is now at the top working with offense from Kotz, keeper of the skate. Kara Beaton is in the back with the Denver 3 wall. That's She Be Dangerous, Green Machine, and Wes Slanderson. Smack Overflow is out, but it was a no pass, no penalty, and she does not have lead. So that's going to mean Kara Beaton is now lead. Ooh, a small apex jump from Smack. It's probably going to earn her all 4. It looks like Divergence is not calling the jam, probably hoping to pick up some points on this pass. Fighting in the back. They have all the standbys blockers there, but She Be Dangerous has now gone to the front to do some O for Smack. We'll see how successful that is. It looks like Smack is still pushing, and She Be has to drop to bridge. The Divergence blocker, who was given a penalty, has returned to the track, but unfortunately the Divergence pivot is now in the box, so they're still going to be down 1 blocker. Kara Beaton calling it off. Wes Slanderson is also in the box for standby, so both teams are going to start down 1 on this next jam. Ah, yes, the zoom in on the box, the zoom of shame.
Zoom. Oh, there's 2.
Oh, another blocker has been sent to the box for Divergence, so they're going to be down 2. Small power start, well, not a true power start, but the standbys are up 1 blocker. Blast doing some nice line work on these 2 Divergence blockers and is through for lead. One of the Divergence blockers has received a penalty and has been sent to the box. Divergence jammer is now also out. That's going to be locked and loaded. Ooh, nice hit on Blast by that Divergence blocker, but Blast is up and is continuing to score. Bash tag is now sent to the box for standbys on a multiplayer. And Divergence is about to have their last blocker return to the track and will now have all 4. Blast has called it off, but Bash is still in the box. So the standbys will start down 1 blocker on this next jam. And that's going to be 4 points for both teams on that last jam. Now we have Dread Lightful Stardust off against Rougarou on the line. And it looks like the Divergence team has also have 1 blocker in the box, so we are evenly matched in terms of number of blockers on the track right now. Ooh, Rue with a great dip, but is caught by the Divergence wall. And the Divergence jammer, that's going to be Dread Lightful Stardust, is through for lead. Rue is also out. Bash tag has returned to the track. And Divergence will be getting their last blocker soon. Dread Lightful is picking up points. Rougarou hoping to sneak through with some points as well. Dread Lightful calls off the jam, but it looks like Rue is through with all 4, while the Team Divergence was only able to pick up 2. Both teams are going to have a full blocker contingent on this start. We're going to be seeing Miss Enigma face off against Meowth.
I think this is the first time Meowth has jammed tonight. As far as I can remember, anyway.
I think you might be right. Chat is calling out Rue for being so fast. I absolutely agree. I also love the name Meowth.
Right.
Missy is fighting at the top, about to get through on some line work on the outside. Now lead jammer. Divergence has pulled off a great star pass on the in. Missy is going to try to pick up some points before she calls off the jam. And she has picked up 3, but no points for Divergence on that one.
Looks like we've got L on wheels for standbys and Lady J for Divergence on the Skate Rats jam line.
Ah, yes, the Skate Rats jam line. Lady J looking to that inside line while L tries to go for the out. Lady J fighting hard and is through for lead jammer with some nice footwork on the inside. L is now in the back and is probably going to get some help from these standbys blockers. Lady J is through and scoring. Fighting at the top, but has already collected quite a few points and is now through for all 4. Standbys have initiated a star pass, which is complete to Shibi, dangerous. Shibi's going to try to pick up as many points as they can. Oh, unfortunately, Lady J is going to have to go to the box, and that's going to be a power jam for standbys. Shibi is going to have to do more laps than she anticipated on this jam.
Full minute jam left.
As someone who personally forced Shibi to do a 2-minute jam in Altitude Adjuster recently, I can highly empathize with how the jammer on standbys is probably feeling right now.
Especially with the heat in the dome right now.
Absolutely. But Shibi is putting up a good points for standbys right now. Getting a lot of help from offense.
Lady J's out.
Lady J is out and will return to scoring. 12 points for standbys so far and 4 for Divergence. Lady J out for another scoring pass. That's going to be 4 points for Divergence, but another 4 for standbys. That's going to bring up the jam total to 16 standbys, 8 Divergence. 3 seconds to 1, and that's going to be the jam. a total of 18 for standbys and 11 for Divergence. On the line now we have Maya Prerogative against Smack Overflow. 10 minutes left in this half. Smack Overthrow making a charge to the front, has 2 left to beat. Divergence Jammer sent to the back. Smack is now out as lead, but a standby's blocker, that's gonna be 416. Bash Tag is sent to the box. Divergence Jammer fighting at the top, trying to get out. It's gonna be Smack is now scoring. Has picked up a couple points, but is definitely going to fight for 4 here. Smack's now out with all 4 points. Divergence Jammer still on initial, but is given a star pass now. Star pass successful, and that pivot is now out. Yeah, and that's Kara Beaton as the pivot there, taking that star pass for Team Divergence. It's gonna be 6 points on the jam for standbys and 0 for Divergence. Jet Set in the box for standbys. So standby's gonna be down 1 on the start. Okay, that's gonna be locked and loaded. Out for lead jammer. There's a quick inside line run up there. Blast fighting in the back for standbys. Locked and loaded, now approaching for points. Ooh, excellent straight pecs jump by Locked and Loaded. I love a straight pecs jump. It's my favorite thing to see in Derby, I think. Locked and Loaded in and through for more points. Blast still fighting. Oh, that was 1 to beat. Trying to get some offense to get out. Locked and Loaded really making fast laps here and getting through for more points. So far 12 for Divergence. This is going to be a big jam for Divergence.
It is definitely mixing things up.
But we love a close game. That's going to be Green Machine heading to the box for standbys. Sorry about the beeping. That was Goblin's food alert thing for the food truck. Thank you to the food truck. Locked and Loaded is now 1 standby to beat at the top. Going to collect 4 more points. And that's going to put Divergence up to 20 points on the jam. Locked and Loaded forced to the inside. Kotz has taken the star pass for standbys, and Locked and Loaded is going to call it off with just a couple seconds left on the jam. We have Rougarou on the line for standbys and Dread Lightful Stardust for Divergence. It's going to be a timeout. Team timeout for blue, I believe. Yes, for standbys. The Divergence Jammer has left the track. Seemingly had a problem with their skate. And now we have Lady J. Oh, a nice hug between Rue and Lady J. We love the sportsmanship. Oh, now it's going to be 23 points on the last jam total. I'm sure that jammer is tired. It is really hard to put up that many points in one jam. That's a lot of laps. And in this heat, that is no easy task.
Yeah, they did an amazing job, especially with, what is it, 2 straight apex jumps? Straight
Yeah, I believe
pecs?
so. Straight pecs jumps, yes. A lot of airtime for that jammer in the last jam. All right, timeout is over, so we should see the jam starting up in just a second. The box is clear. We have full set of blockers for both teams. Both jammers setting up in the middle. Rue looking to that inside line, looking for a little help from Savage, now trying to get through a Divergent, but Lady J is through for lead. Rue is out quickly behind. It's going to be a bit of a race here. Lady J is going to approach for points, but less than quarter track behind is Rue. Rue has already snuck in 1 point, at least. That's going to be 2 for Standbys and 2 for Divergence.
It's always a great time watching those super fast jammers like them too.
Yeah, always exciting to see the jammers who are willing to race. I know when I'm lead jammer and there's a jammer close behind me, it's very tempting to call it off. But when you're behind, you definitely want to try to get those points. Miss E is going to be out for lead. Against, it's going to be Cara Beaton, I believe. Miss E fighting against that 2 wall and is through for 4. Beaton is still in the back fighting with that Denver 3 wall. Going to get some offensive help and made a star pass to the pivot. The pivot for Divergence is through with the star. Missy has grabbed another 4 points, so that's going to be 8 points for Standbys on the jam. We'll see if Missy calls before the Divergence jammer is able to score. Miss E is being told to run it by her bench. Oh, but now here we go is the call off. And that is 1 Divergence blocker in the box. They just sat down, so they're going to be there for the full 30 seconds on this next jam.
Looks like that's Freddie Mercury poisoning.
And that is exactly right. And now we have L on wheels with Meowth. L is going to look at that outside line, taking a quick hit from my Divergence blocker while the Divergence jammer fights on the in the back. L is pushing hard, trying to grab lead here, trying to stretch out the pack, but that Divergence jammer is pushing the wall up, so L is not able to stretch it out enough to get that call. Ooh, great recovery by the Standbys blockers at the top, and L is able to get through for lead. It was a star pass on Team Divergence, but the pivot is trapped in the back. Every pivot's nightmare. Having some success on the wall, but getting caught again. L is pushing hard in the front, getting some assistance from Jet Set.
Standbys have lost 1 blocker.
That's Royal Tenenbaum in the box for Standbys. And it looks like Bashtag is going to be joining her. That pivot is now out for Divergence. It's putting on the star. L is through for 4. Oh, nice hit by Jet on that blocker.
Wouldn't be surprised if L needs to try to kill some time to get those blockers
Yeah,
back.
I would imagine that the Standby's coaches would like that box cleared before L calls. But that Divergence jammer is through and has scored 4. And L is getting the signal to call. She has called the jam. But they have cleared that box. And that's going to be 8 for Standbys on the jam and 4 for Divergence.
Another exhausting jam for these jammers and
yeah,
blockers.
these are some long jams.
They're putting up an amazing fight. This is great derby to
Everyone's
watch.
working hard. That is for sure. Now we have Smack Overflow with Dread Lightful Stardust, I believe. Dread Lightful looking for that outside, but has swapped at the last second with Smack. Smack on the outside, Dread Lightful with some nice line work on the inside, but it's getting recycled. That's going to be a no pass, no penalty for Smack, and they are out. Dread Lightful is now out with lead. Oh, but has been given a penalty. It's going to be a track cut. So this is actually going to be a 2-minute jam. Another 2-minute jam. Smack fighting the 2-wall and is out with 4. She Be Dangerous being sent to the box saying, I know, I know, I know, as she leaves the track. Smack is now fighting against the Divergence 3 at the top. The Standbys are waiting in the back, hoping to stretch out that pack, but here comes Green Machine to give a little offense to Smack. I imagine Smack is pretty tired from these long jams previously in the game. We have Dread Lightful is back for Team Divergence.
It's like Smack tiptoed around the edge there. He's able to get through.
We have 46 seconds left on this jam. That's going to feel like a long 46 seconds for these jammers. Oh, and the Divergence jammer is back in the box, but is standing. Smack Overflow out for another 4. Well, Smack was awarded 3.
That is the end of the period clock. It's a great hit by Green Machine.
The period clock is now over, so this is going to be the last jam of this half. And that's going to be 11 points on the last jam of the first half for Standby, 4 for Divergence. We will see everyone in 15 minutes.
Whew.
All right, welcome back. We've got about 1 minute, 39 seconds left until we start the second half of the Standbys versus Divergence game. Standbys are at 114, Divergence at 75. We're getting ready for a great second half.
We've got a few sponsors that help us keep the lights on here in the Roller Dome. like, let's see, November James Realtor. They're a multi-award-winning, top-producing real estate broker. So if you're here in Denver, Colorado, she can help you.
Also plays for MHB, so if you want to say that you bought your house from an MHB skater, check her out.
We're also sponsored by Great Divide Brewing Company. They're a brewery of great character, making remarkable beers while being active in the community, like us, partly by supporting us here at the Roller Dome.
The chat wants to know who are the officials. I don't know if I have that. I don't know if I have a sheet for that, but I'll tell you who I know. We have Thomas the Dank Engine, who is our head ref here at DRD. We have Ginger Spice in the teal helmet. I believe that is either Cat or Mame in the red helmet. Can't tell from here. We have Gay of Reckoning as well.
Mame was here earlier. I don't know if she's here now, though.
And Margie. And one more skating official that I just don't know their name. Sorry about it. And we have Stack Trace as our NSO in the middle with Mads Kills. We got Blasphemous facing us against Locked and Loaded. Blast is out for a quick lead, but quickly followed by Locked and Loaded. It's going to be a race unless Blast is told to call. Blast is being told to run it for time. They want to get caught out of the penalty box. Blast has called it off. It's going to be 4 points on the jam for Divergence. And 0 for standbys.
Quite the stature difference there between Battlein and Rougarou. Can truly see that all bodies are derby bodies here.
Absolutely. Both jammers taking a slow approach, looking for an opening, and that's going to be Rue on the outside, out through for lead. Divergence jammer still fighting the standbys in the back, looking for an opening as Rue comes around to score. And now Battlein is out on their scoring pass. Rue's going to try to pick up as many as they can. Oh, but unfortunately receives a track cut penalty, and it's going to be a power jam for Divergence.
It'll be another 2-minute jam.
Oh, I think maybe another track cut is being called. I saw the signal from the ref, but no one is skating away. Battlein still battling against those standbys blockers, and that's going to be the pivot going to the box for Divergence. That's going to be Meowth and a directional. Rue is back. So we have both jammers on the track now with 45 seconds left. Both teams have scored 4 so far. Rue is through for another 4. Battlein still trying to pick up that last 4 on this pass. Struggling against that standby's 3 wall, but getting some offense. Rue is back, following Jet, but hit to the in and is going to have to be recycled behind that Divergence blocker. Battlein is now through, completing that scoring pass for 4. And that's going to be the end of the jam. It's going to be a total of 8, maybe 12. for Divergence. And 12 for standbys. So, okay, just 8 for Divergence, 12 for standbys. I was watching the refs, wasn't sure if they had put the points on the board yet, but it seems they have. In this jam, we're going to see Lady J against Miss Enigma. I saw a whistle, or heard a whistle rather. Standby's captain is coming to the middle. It's going to be an official timeout, perhaps an official review. Oh, a team timeout. I saw the O from the jam timer. Who is 114? Let me check my little sheet. That's going to be Cat Claus.
Now, is it claws like fingernail claws or claws like Santa Claus?
It's spelled like Santa Claus.
Okay,
And I believe Cat skates for Boulder.
Okay, nice.
I've definitely seen Cat Claus in this building before, that is for sure. Yeah, looks like really good vibes on the track. Everyone is smiling. Team seems to be getting along great. We love hosting these teams from outside the area. Anytime we can get skaters from different areas coming to the roller dome, we are so happy to have them.
And we're thankful for all 53 of you on Twitch. And if you want to see more roller derby through Denver Roller Derby and you have an Amazon Prime account, you can subscribe to our channel for free with your Prime account every month. It is a little bit of money for us. It helps us keep our lights on, keeps our skaters skating, and bringing you games like this. So just go on to Amazon Prime, go to Twitch through that, and then subscribe to us. But please make sure to do it every month.
Chat is calling out the fact that some skaters have written "No Kings" and have anti-ice writing on them.
Ooh,
Absolutely happy to see that. Today, the day of the No Kings protest across the country. We had one here in Denver and one down in Springs and a couple in various suburbs of each.
I think I saw reports that there were around 10 million people in total in protests around the country.
Wow.
And then I think for the parade in DC, I heard there was maybe 20,000.
Now we're going to have Lady J with Miss E. Whatever has come of that timeout in review, it seems no one has gone to the box. Lady J out for a quick lead on the outside, but Miss E quick to follow. Lady J approaching for scoring. Denver is at the top, so Miss E is going to be able to sneak in some points here in the back. Lady J calling. That's going to be 1 point for Divergence and 2 for Denver. L is fighting on the outside, hoping to get through, but hit out. Now is going to have to recycle. Divergence Shimmer pushing against that Denver wall. That's Dreadlightful Stardust. Hit to the outside by Bash Tag and is going to recycle behind the standby's blockers. L working with Jet at the top with 2 Divergence blockers in the box. No lead has been declared, but L is out for scoring. So it's going to be, oh, L is now lead jammer and is going to call off the jam. There is 1 blocker for Divergence standing in the box. That's Maya Prerogative. And that's going to be 3 points on that last jam for standbys. We have Smack Overflow lining up for standbys on the Gate Rats jam line with Kara Beaton for Team Divergence. What was the penalty? The chat is asking. I am not sure. Smack overthrows through for lead. Kara Beaton up against the standbys while getting some offense. Looking to that inside line, pushing against Wes Slammerson, she'd be dangerous. Looking for that star pass, but the pivot is currently otherwise engaged. Smack overthrow is through for 4. The star pass is complete, but that pivot is still fighting, but now they are through. And it's going to put that star on so they can start scoring. But Smack Overthrow calls off the jam before any points can be put on the board for Divergence. We have 1 standby's blocker in the box. It's going to be Wes Slammerson. Looks like a destruction. On the next time out or review, remind me in the chat to put up the penalties. We can review those past penalties. Divergence skater hit to the in, but is going to get a no pass, no penalty, and is out.
Interesting.
Blasphemous for standbys is now fighting at the top, but is through, and is now lead. Is going to be told to call it off, but not before Divergence can get through for 4. Or 3. I misspoke. Wes is now standing in the box. That was a quick jam.
Yeah.
Sub 30 seconds. We have Rougarou on the line with Lady J. Lady J looking at that inside line. Rue altering between the lines and is through for lead. Lady J still fighting, but has found, it looked like she had found her way on the inside, but is going to have to recycle. Rue is through scoring, but hit to the out, has picked up a few points, but Lady J is still fighting, has 1 more blocker to beat on standbys. And Lady J is now out. Rue is through for another 4. Or maybe their first 4. And is going to call it off. Was it fast enough, or did Lady J pick up any points on that jam? Lady J did pick up 2 points on that jam. That's going to be 4-2 standbys on that jam. Miss Enigma is going to line up for the standbys next against Kara Beaton. Kara Beaton, a favorite in the chat today. Kara looking for that outside line. Miss E is through. She's going to be awarded lead. It looks like Kara Beaton has received a track cut penalty and is going to be a power jam for Denver. Miss E quickly fighting for those 4, looking to her offense. Grabs those 4 points. Missy's coming around for another scoring pass. All the blockers are tied up. with some one-on-one blocking. Now Missy is against a 2 on the front. Has all those Divergence blockers spread out and is through for another 4. Cara Beaton is back on the track, but unfortunately 1977 for Divergence is now in the box. Missy through for another 4. Cara Beaton is now eligible to score after completing her initial. Missy's going to call it off. Going to try to keep Divergence off the board, and she did with 2 points for Denver in the last pass, so that's going to bring it up to 15. Not a lot of clock stoppages in this game. We only have 19 minutes left in the second half. This game is flying by. We have Elle on wheels with Dreadlightful Stardust. Elle is through on the outside for lead. Stardust, Delightful Stardust looking towards the end, but has gotten a track cut. So that's going to be another power jam for Denver, but Green Machine is following Stardust to the box. So we will have 3 standbys blockers on the track. Elle is coming up, going to try to grab 4, and she did. Stardust and Green Machine are standing. Stardust has returned to the track. Green has just followed. Stardust is going to have to work in the back against the standby's wall while Elle on wheels works in the front. A very stretched out pack right now. Soon someone is going to have to bridge. The pack has collapsed. Elle is now in the back with Dreadlightful Stardust coming around, but the jam is called off before any points can get on the board for Divergence. That's going to be 11 for standbys on that jam. We have 1 blocker in the box for Divergence, number 711. Lots of encouragement for Star in the chat. We love to see that. We have a new jammer on the line for Divergence. Looks like it's Rosie the Riveter. I don't think we've seen this jammer before in this game, and Smack Overflow is out for lead. Rosie the Riveter is now out. Oh, but Snack Overthrow has gone to the box. So Rosie has been given lead and is in control of the jam. Smack Overflow is standing in the box, and Divergence has all 4 blockers back on the track. Rosie through for 4. Smack coming back in, Star in hand. Divergence through for another 4. Savage has taken the star pass from Smack. Smack is now blocking, but a Divergence blocker has been sent to the box. Rosie through on the line. Hit out by Jet, but Jet went out as well. So she's just going to go right back in. Savage is now through with the star for standbys. Divergence jammer is approaching for another scoring pass and is going to call it off. Let's see how many is given for that jam. 0, or on that pass. 0 for standbys on that pass. 1 for Divergence.
Oof, great jam for Divergence.
13 points on the jam for Divergence, bringing the score up to 166 standbys, 106 Divergence. We have Locked and Loaded on the line now with Blasphemous for standbys. Locked and loaded for Divergence, of course. We have one blocker in the box who is standing for Divergence. It's Freddie Mercury. Both jammers fighting, but Blast is on the outside for lead and Locked and Loaded quick to follow on the out. Blast is getting the signal to get some quick points and call. He's going to call from the floor after hitting that Divergence blocker and earns that 1 point. None on the board for Divergence in that jam. We're going to see Lady J with Rougarou. We've seen this matchup a couple times in this game so far. Both of these skaters are pretty fast. It's been a race a couple times when they both get out. We'll see if this jam follows the trend. Lady J pushing up the middle, now held on the in. Rue also trying the in, but getting recycled. Lady J is now out. A direction penalty for that Divergence blocker. Rue with 1 to beat and is now out for standbys. Lady J trying to grab as many points as she can before Rue comes around to score. She has called the jam. Let's see how many points on the board. That's going to be 0 for standbys and 4 for Divergence. We have 13 minutes left in this half and in this game. We're going to see Miss Enigma line up against Cara Beaton. Another matchup that's becoming a quick classic in this game. Four standbys blockers on the track, and Missy is out for lead on the outside line. Cara Beaton is at the top, but is trapped by that standbys wall. Standbys do have their full blocker contingent, so this might be tough. Cara Beaton is pushing hard, though. Missy is through for 4 points. And the Divergence blocker has returned to the track, so both teams have all 4 now. Missy is getting the signal to get some quick points before trying to call off this jam. She's going to call it before Divergence is able to get any points on the board. That's going to be 8 points for standbys, 0 Divergence. Fun fact, Troman79 made Beaton's shirt. Shout out to Troman79 in the chat. We're seeing L on wheels with Locked and Loaded. L is out on the inside for lead. Locked and Loaded fighting, but getting some offense. It's a tight scrum right now. Starting to spread out. Locked and Loaded looking for opportunities while L is trying to score. Some tough defense by Denver. Locked is taking off the star, but the pivot is behind. So it's not really going to be much help, but is through for their initial. L is going to try to grab all 4 before calling it. Calls it off. We have Lady J and Smack Overflow lining up on the Skate Rats jam line. Smack is pushing. Both jammers are, well, they were both at the top. Lady J with 1 to beat, out for lead. Smack Overflow still looking to get that initial. Lady J coming around to score. quickly grabbing 2, 3, and that's probably going to be all 4 for Lady J as she calls it off. We do have one standby's blocker in the box. That's going to be Green Machine. Dread Lightful Stardust is going to line up with Blasphemous. 4 points on the previous gen for Divergence. Still have Green Machine in the box for standby, so only 3 blockers out. Dreadlight getting through for lead, but 1 blocker for Divergence sent to the box. Blatz looking for some offense from Bash Tag. Green Machine returning to the track. Star pass to Bash Tag, and a call off from Dread Lightful. That's going to be 4 points for Dread Lightful on that jam. We do have 2 Divergence blockers in the box, so this is going to be potentially a big jam. We have Rougarou on the line against Locked and Loaded. Rougarou having a great game today. Locked as well, of course. Shout out to all of our jammers. Oh, Rue tried for that outside line, but getting shut down. Looking to the in. 1 more to beat. And is through for lead. But Locked and Loaded is going to be a quick follow unless they are hit out by She Be Dangerous to the end. The jam was called. Potentially for injury, but it seems that everyone is okay. We're going to see Missy with Cara Beaton, of course. Only 7 minutes left in this half and in this game. Missy approaching and is in the Divergence wall at the top. 2 to beat, 1 left, and is lead. Cara Beaton sent to the back of the pack, while Missy comes up quick to score. 1 standby's blocker, Slam Track, heading to the box. And Cat Claus. Penalty on the scoreboard for Cat Claus, but it doesn't look like Cat Claus is in the box. Slam Track is actually in the box, as reflected on the scoreboard. Missy through, but looking for more. Calling off the jam before Cara Beaton can grab any points. 0 points on the jam for Divergence, and that's going to be a total of 7 for standbys. Bad code. Does that mean Locks can't go out for 3? I don't think so, but we will see. I think it was a quick call off by the ref, just out of precaution. Lady J is now through for lead jammer. Slam Track returning to the track for standbys. L on wheels, working hard on that inside line. Star pass to She Be Dangerous. Oh, a fake star pass to She Be Dangerous, and it fooled the blockers and also me. Lady J is now in the box, so that's going to be a power jam for standbys and a full 2-minute jam. Standbys are goading the Divergence pivot in the back, trying to keep the pack stationary to allow L to work, but has let that pivot go. Still trying to keep the pack stationary, letting it stretch out, letting L push in the front. L with 3 blockers still, with a bridge going by both teams. Lady J has returned to the track, immediately engaging that standby squall in the back. And is going to be through for 4 points. And that's going to be a standby blocker, green machine, and divergence blocker back to the box. That's going to be Meowth. L is through for 4 points. Lady J through for another 4. Lady J sent to the outside by Slam Track and is being recycled. L is through, going to grab 4 more. Both blockers sprinting out of the box. Lady J calling to the crowd, wanting some interaction, wanting some cheers. Well deserved and earned. Asked for and given. So that's going to be 12-12, a tie jam. And now we have Smack Overflow against Dreadlight Stardust on the Skate Rats Jam line. Smack Overflow is through on the outside line for lead. Stardust with one more to beat and is through. Smack calling for some offense to get those points and is going to try to call it off before Divergence can get any points on the board and is successful. That's going to be 2 points for Smack Overflow. 0 for Divergence. We're going to have Blasphemous on the line for standbys against Locked and Loaded. Only 2 minutes 45 left in this game. Blast working on that inside. Locked and Loaded fighting in the front, but Blast is by and now through for lead. Locked and Loaded only has 2 to beat. Blast trying to score some points, but is struggling against those Divergence blockers in the back, but is getting some offense from Wes Slamberson. Divergence Jammer is being run all the way to the back. Blast trying to get those hips around and is through for 4. Oh, big slide by the Divergence Jammer, but is going to have to run all the way to the back. We have 1 blocker from each team in the box, Nikita Chiquita and Cat Claws. Blast deep in that 3 wall. That's a tight wall. Blast trying to go on the out and is through for 4. Both blockers have returned, so both teams have all 4 blockers on the track, but Blast has been given a track cut and is going to sit for the rest of this jam. Divergence will start on a power start next jam. That is the end of the jam. We're gonna see Kara Beaton line up for this power jam for Divergence. Denver Wall sucks back quickly off the line, but Beaton is working on the in, finding some space. But again, the standby's wall comes up to control. Divergence trying to throw as much offense as they can on this power jam, but Blast is now out of the box, and they're going to have to block when Blast comes around. Beaton looking for that inside line still. Blast taking a pretty big hit, but getting up quickly. Blast fighting that 2-wall at the top, and is through for lead. One Divergence blocker in the box. Now Kara Beaton still fighting for initial. Has taken the star off, but unfortunately the pivot is in the box. Blast trying to pick up those points. Oh, does that pivot have the star?
No.
The pivot does not have the star. So Kara Beaton is still the jammer. The pivot is back from the box. Taking the star pass, but not able to get through. That's going to be the unofficial score. 215 standbys to Divergence 130. And 5 points on that last jam for Blast. Thank you for everyone who watched the stream today. I heard a rumor we might be streaming the scrimmage that will happen between the Denver layovers and Team Divergence tomorrow during the standovers regular scheduled practice time. I would imagine that's going to start around 3 p.m. Mountain Time tomorrow. If we are streaming, pop back in. I'm not 100% sure, but you can always come back and look. Thank you again for everybody watching. And that is going to be the final score. See everybody next time. And again, thanks for watching.
Thank you, thank you. Have a good night, everybody.